Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about crocheted tank top patterns. Now, I've already done a video about crochet tops, which you can check out, but today we are just going to be talking about those wonderful sleeveless options. And these tank tops will range between sizes of 27 to 63 inches and all that good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead, get the elephant out of the room, and let's talk about what I'm wearing. So today I am wearing my sagebrush tank top. Now, I modified this top because I also did a video talking about my process for crocheting this top. And after I was done, like the straps were way too long. And I haven't figured that out, whether it's because I have a short torso or because I crochet much more loosely than the designer. But anyway, the straps were about 8 inches too long. So I thought, okay, well, I have to cut them. And then my friend Jackie of Crochet ADHD suggested that I just tie the straps. And I had actually thought about tying the straps before, but I didn't think it would look right because the point, of me making this is because I wanted to layer it with things like, put something underneath or put a cardigan over it. But hey, I like it. I think it's cute. I really like it. So let's go ahead and get into some great crochet tank top patterns. I will leave a link to everything in the description box below, including this top. But like I said, I did an entire video about it, and you can just check that out for more details if you want to know more about the pattern, my other modifications, and the yarn and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's jump right in. All right, now these patterns will include lots of different yarn weights and sizes. So the first one is the Yarrow Cami by Courtney A. Clark of Tinderbox. So this pattern is a paid pattern, and you will need between 634 to 1,515 yards. Of course, that will depend on your size. And that is between 580 to 1,385 meters of yarn. Now, this is a DK weight pattern. And the bust size or the bust circumference ranges between a 27 to 62 inch bust, which is 69 to 158 centimeters. And what I love so much about this top is that beautiful V-neck design, and it's symmetrical on the front and the back. So the front and the back look the same, and I just think that is awesome. I think it drapes really well, and this is definitely one that I have on my radar. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It is the Simone Tank by Emily Marie Davis. So this is a paid pattern, and you will need between 520 to 1,260 yards, and that's 475 to 1,152 meters. And this is a DK weight pattern as well. You will have an option between a 30 to 62 inch bust, which is a 76 to 158 centimeter bust circumference. All right, so what I love about this pattern is that you can do a lot of different modifications. And so I'm going to leave the product page for this pattern, and you can kind of see the modifications that you can make. But you can actually shorten the length, maybe like for a more cropped effect, or you can make it longer if you want to. Also, the V-neck. Some people don't like a deep V-neck. Some people may prefer a higher one. But with this pattern, you can actually customize it. You can actually lower or lengthen the V-neck in the front. Okay, y'all. So let's go ahead and go to the next pattern. It is the Split Tank by Natalie of Detroit Knots. This is an amazing crochet pattern, and it is a pay for a pattern. And you will need between 675 to 1,211 yards, which is 617 to 1,170 meters. This is a DK weight pattern, and the bust circumference ranges between a 28 to a 62 inch bust, and that's 71 to 157 centimeters. And this tank is actually worked in sections, and it's worked in panels, and then it's seamed at the shoulders and the arm. And I was just watching my friend Marquita's channel of Naughty Crush, and she is actually making this top, and she's already started the panels. And so I've had this top in my queue for a long time, and I don't know, I just hadn't gotten around to it. And seeing Marquita's, or seeing the fact that she's already started, has definitely made me motivated to get started on this. So I'll have to pick out some DK weight yarn. And I've been making a lot of patterns with cotton. Like, for example, this top is 50% merino wool and 50% cotton, and it's so airy, it's so wonderful. So I don't know if I want to make this tank with 100% superwash merino wool, or if I want to do a cotton. And then if I do a cotton, like, what type of cotton do I want to do? So I don't know, lots of things to think about, but I'm definitely excited about this pattern. And what makes me so excited about this pattern is that long split detail down the side. Like, I just think that is so wonderful. I think that the tank has a beautiful silhouette from the front and the back, and I just love it. And I love that detail that goes all the way around the bottom, and it goes along the seams. It's just stunning. So yeah, I'm excited to check that one out. All right, let's move along. So the next top that I have is the Cumberland tank, and this is by Alexandra Tavel, or Tavel, I think it's Tavel, I'm not sure, but anyway, she is of Two of Wands, and so she makes a lot of amazing patterns, both crochet and knit, so something for everybody. So this is a pattern that is free on her blog. However, if you want to download an ad-free PDF, you can do so. But if you don't mind a few ads, it's a totally free pattern. And so you will need between 738 to 1,848 yards, which is 675 to 1,690 meters. And so this particular top is made with worsted weight yarn, which is my favorite. Y'all know I love worsted weight yarn. But yeah, so you will need worsted weight yarn for this one. And the bust circumference is between 35 to 63 inches, and that is 89 to 160 centimeters. And so this t-shirt is designed to have between 5 to 7 inches of positive ease, and that is between 13 and 18 centimeters of positive ease. So I really like that. And I don't usually wear horizontal stripes. I don't think they look great on me. You know, I have wide shoulders. I don't really like all those stripes going across my bust line. However, I think this pattern would look great as a solid. And you know what? I think I would try the stripes, even though I'm more of a vertical stripe person, but I don't know. I just think that this tank looks so nice. And yeah, I think I'm drawn to it. I'm definitely drawn to it. So yeah, I definitely want to check that tank top out. All right, y'all, let's keep this ball moving along. Okay, so the next tank is the York Rose tank top by Natalie McHale of Talia's Crochet Creations. Now, this is a paid pattern, and you will need between 465 to 995 yards, which is 425 to 910 meters, or centimeters. No, meters. I had it right the first time. Woo! Trying to keep all these numbers. So for this, you will need a DK weight yarn, and the bust circumference is between 28 to 60 inches, which is 72 to 152 centimeters. And so this t-shirt is designed with 2 inches or 5 centimeters of positive ease. And it is worked from the bottom up. So yeah, work from the bottom up. I know there's a lot of top-down lovers, but hey, it's a fun challenge. I definitely think you should do it. I love this pattern. Now, this pattern does have bobbles down at the bottom. I think it has like 2 rows of bobbles. And for my longtime viewers, you will know that I am not a fan of bobbles at all. But I think because the bobbles are down at the bottom of the tank, I don't mind it. I think that's what it is. I really do want to try this out. And you know, it probably wouldn't hurt me to at least learn how to make a bobble. But yeah, I think because it's just 2 rows down at the very, very bottom, I think that's why I give this pattern a pass. And I do want to try it. Okay, so next up we have the Borderline Tank by Alexandra Tavel of Two of Wands. And it's free on her blog, or you can get a paid version PDF downloadable. Now, you will need between 738 to 1,476 yards, and that is 675 to 1,350 meters. And so this pattern requires worsted weight yarn, and the bust circumference is between 29.5 to 57 inches, and that is 74 to 145 centimeters. So this tee is designed to have between -2 to 2 inches, or -2 to plus 2 inches, or that in centimeters is -5 to 5. So the way it's written is that it can have positive ease or negative ease. So it just depends on what look you're going for. And I think that's pretty neat. But what I love so much about this pattern is the wide strap. So it's very, very bra friendly. And I also love that faux knit cable detail. And so I think this is great. I knit and crochet, but I love when the elements mix. I love that. And so this detail, it looks like a faux knit. But it's crochet, and I think that is super awesome. And so this tank actually has a sister pattern. It is a knit version of the Streamline tank. The knit version is called the Streamline tank, and the crochet version is the Borderline, but they look so similar. It's amazing. So if you knit and crochet like me, you have your pick as to which one you would like to make. The next one is the Flamingo Summer Top, and that is by Sarah Ruin. Or I hope I'm saying that right, but details will be in the description box. And this pattern is free on her blog, but you can always purchase an ad-free PDF version. So for this one, you will need between 700 to 1,600 yards, which is 640 to 1,463 meters. And this pattern requires a fingering weight yarn. So for you all out there that like smaller hooks, thinner yarn, this one is for you. It is fingering weight. And the bust circumference is between 28 to 62 inches, which is 71 to 158 centimeters. And this tee is designed with 2 to 4 inches of positive ease, and that is 5 to 10 centimeters of positive ease. So what I love so much about this pattern is that symmetrical lace detail in the front and the back. Now, I'm not really much of like a lace wearer, even like knit or crochet. I don't really do a lot of lace. But it's something about this that I love. And this is the type of lace that I would wear. So yeah, definitely check that out. Okay, so the next pattern I have is called the Tilly Tank by Katie Peterson. I love that name, the Tilly Tank. And it is a free pattern. And you will need between 500 and 900 yards, which is 457 to 823 meters. And so this pattern calls for DK weight yarn. And the bust circumference is between 30 to 60 inches, which is 76 to 152 centimeters. And what I love is that this tank has the V-neck, but then it has that amazing split hem on the side. And so this tank is seamed, but before you go running away because you hate seaming, the seam actually gives a decoration to it. So it has a very decorative seam that is made using slip stitches. So in this one, you actually want the seam because it's part of the decoration. So yeah. Love that. It's kind of a way for us to like seaming, to actually look forward to seaming, because we know that the seam is actually going to add to the garment. Okay, so let's move on. This is the off the shoulder crop top by Designs by Key. Now this is a free pattern, and you will need between 300 to 500 yards, so not a lot of yarn at all. And that is 274 to 457 meters. And so for this one, this pattern calls for an Aran weight yarn, and the bust circumference is between 28 to 60 inches, which is 71 to 152 centimeters. And so this top is worked top down in one piece, and I love that. So you can try it on as you go. And I just love the neckline of that one. I really do. Now, if I was to make this top, which I feel like I will, I would add a few inches at the bottom. But I'm not sure because, like I said, I have a short torso. So I feel like if I was to crochet this, it might actually just hit me at my natural waist anyway. But because it is crochet from the top down, you have that option to be able to try it on as you go. So yeah, I really like that. So I don't know if I would add anything to it or not. It would have to be like I would have to actually be working the tank top, and then I'll know whether I want to add some more or not. But I might be okay with the pattern as is. I'll have to make it to find out. Okay, so our next tank top is called the Mela Tank, and this is by Alexandra Tavel of Two of Wands. As you can tell, I am a fan of her patterns, that's for sure. But it is free on her blog, or you can pay for a PDF version. And the yardage is between 657 to 1,095 yards, and that is 601 to 1,001 meters. So the yarn weight for this pattern is an Aran weight, and the bust circumference is between 30 to 61 inches, and that's 76 to 155 centimeters. And so this tee is also designed to have positive and negative ease, -2 to 2 inches, and -5 to 5 centimeters. So very interesting, right? So yeah, lots of options for customization there. And what I love so much about this pattern is that rib detail on the straps. I just think that's a fantastic detail. I'm very curious to see like how that is achieved. And I love the split hem. Like, I am a sucker for a split hem. I just think that it makes the garment just fit so nicely on you. Okay, y'all, so those are my tanks, but I got a few more things I want to discuss. All right, so I've been making a lot of these like knit tank tops, knit tops, and crochet tank tops, and crochet tops for the spring and summer. So I've been looking at a lot of different patterns, and I've just seen hundreds of patterns. And in looking at those patterns, I have definitely noticed some things that I have gripes about. They are my pet peeves when it comes to patterns. So I'm just going to tell you all a few of them, and I would love for you all to chime in the comments below and let me know, like, is it just me, or do these things bother you as well? Okay, so the first one is, I have a gripe that like in some crochet and knitting patterns, I don't like it when the person's hands or their hair is covering up the details of the pattern in every single shot. Now, I understand doing that for like a few of the photos. I think it's very photogenic, but not all of the photos. Like sometimes you'll see where their hair is covering the strap, so you can't see the strap details, or their hands are covering it in every photo. And I'm like, what are you hiding? Also, another one I have is like when every single photo that shows the waistline, it shows a French tuck. Okay? If you're not familiar with a French tuck, it's basically like when you just tuck the front part in your pants. And I think that's a really cool look, and I like to see it in some of the photos, but not every photo. I want to see that waistline, okay? So that is definitely a gripe that I have. The next one that I have is I've noticed that in a lot of, especially like crochet patterns, knitting patterns aren't too bad about this, but crochet patterns, a lot of times I notice that they do not include ease. And so today I had, I think maybe 3 or 4 patterns that included ease, but like most of them was by the exact same designer. So out of this entire list, only 2 designers included ease in their patterns. But ease is very important for me to know, because I need to know if something is going to have negative ease or positive ease before I buy the pattern. That is going to determine a lot for me. I don't really like a lot of negative ease. I prefer more positive, but at the same time, I don't want it to be super baggy. So I need to know, like, okay, does the garment have 6 to 10 inches of positive ease? Because if it does, then that means that I need to go down in size, which means I need to go down in the amount of yarn that I use. Or if it's negative ease, maybe I need to go up a few sizes, which means I need to buy more yarn. Like, I need to know that before buying the pattern. So yes, definitely a pet peeve of mine. And another one that I have is I use the imperial system, and I feel like we're the only ones. I think there's one other place that uses the imperial system. And you all have heard me gripe about this before. My issue is when I'm looking at a crochet pattern, I think that it would be beneficial if we have both the imperial and metric numbers in every single pattern. If there's inches, I want to know centimeters. I want to know meters. I want to see the metric and the imperial. I think it's so great. And especially like when I'm doing these videos, I have to look, most of the time I have to look that stuff up. There are some patterns that include both, and I just love those. I think it's so great. But all of that, I will say all of that to say that I know there's 100 million things to think about when you are designing a pattern. And sometimes those itsy bitsy little things just fall through the cracks, and you're not thinking about people like me who's nitpicking on every little thing, okay? But those are just some of my little gripes that I have. And I would love to know, what are your pet peeves when it comes to crochet and knitting patterns? Let me know if you agree with mine, or maybe you have some different ones. Let me know in the comments below. And also, let me know in the comments below if you have made any of the tank tops that I talked about today, or if you would like to crochet some of these. Let me know for sure, or maybe you have some that you want to add. Now, I do have a Ravelry bundle with over 25 crochet patterns. I didn't include all of them today, but there's a ton of them in there. Go check them out. They're for all different size ranges, so definitely check those out. All right, y'all. So I have a link in the description box to all my favorite crochet tools. Also some knitting ones in there as well. Also check out my YouTube community tab. I ask a lot of fun questions in there, and I love reading you all's responses to those questions. Also, let me know what you did while watching. Did you do a Sudoku? Did you play Candy Crush? I like to play Candy Crush, and I like Sudoku a lot. Anyway, let me know. Did you wash the dishes? Maybe you just sat and chilled. It's a really warm day, so at least where I'm at in North Carolina. So maybe you just had some sweet tea, which is an excellent idea. So let me know what you did while watching. Let me know what you worked on. Also, if you want to further support my channel, I will leave my Ko-Fi link below, and there's also the YouTube super chat. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, follow me on Instagram if you fancy that. I do a lot more on Instagram than I do on any social media platform, I do believe. So go ahead, check that out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to continue watching this face, just click on one of the videos on the end screen. So until next time, bye.